If we imagine for a moment that the limits of space no longer exist, there's one celestial object that truly captures the imagination. One that could be the most spectacular thing in our night sky. That object is Betelgeuse, a gigantic red supergiant star. If you were to move Betelgeuse to where our Sun currently sits, its massive size would stretch all the way out to where Jupiter orbits. This star is extremely large and incredibly unstable, teetering on the edge of a cosmic explosion. But the story isn't as simple as it might sound. In the universe, these monumental explosions, especially from supernovas, can cause incredible disruptions, both to what we can see and to the parts of reality we can't even observe. Even though Betelgeuse isn't clearly visible to the naked eye in detail, astronomers view it as a textbook example of a red supergiant star, which is a class of stars far more enormous than our Sun scientists like Brian Cox and many others think it could erupt in a supernova very soon. This has sparked growing curiosity, especially since the James Webb Space Telescope has been collecting jaw-dropping pictures of the star. So the big questions are, when will Betelgeuse explode, and what effect might it have on our planet? Let's take a closer look at this brilliant star located in the famous Orion constellation, a constellation so bright and striking that it caught the attention of civilizations thousands of years ago. Betelgeuse glows from Orion's eastern shoulder, ranking as the second largest star in that grouping. Its name is linked to its place in the constellation, representing Orion's shoulder. Not only is Betelgeuse one of the most brilliant stars visible from Earth, but it also gives off an unusual reddish glow, which, as we'll find out, could signal that something serious is going on. Humans have been keeping an eye on Betelgeuse for a long time. The ancient Greek astronomer Tycho noticed the star's reddish-orange color centuries ago. Back then, stargazers mostly paid attention to the colors of stars, and Betelgeuse's odd hue stood out as something potentially important. In modern times, scientists have been able to study the star with incredible accuracy, and they've discovered why it shines so intensely. One major reason is that its brightness changes dramatically, sometimes becoming about 0.6 magnitudes dimmer or brighter. That's because Betelgeuse is what astronomers call a variable star, meaning its light doesn't stay constant. In 2019, researchers picked up on some very strange behavior that had never been seen before. Betelgeuse didn't go completely dark, but its brightness dropped dramatically to about magnitude 1.6. This unexpected dip caused scientists to investigate what might be going on with this usually radiant star. They were determined to figure out why Betelgeuse was acting so unpredictably. Their results suggested that the star might go supernova at any moment. Brian Cox, a respected physicist and science communicator, gave this warning some weight. He's a professor of particle physics at the University of Manchester and a well-known advocate for science education, often appearing on television and writing books. According to him, Betelgeuse looks like a ticking cosmic time bomb that could erupt without any notice. Adding more credibility to these concerns is the powerful data coming in from the James Webb Space Telescope. This telescope has provided convincing new evidence that Betelgeuse's strange actions deserve attention. But what exactly makes Betelgeuse behave so oddly? Thanks to modern technology, the star is now seen as a prime candidate for a supernova. However, experts still don't know the exact moment this explosion will take place. The fact that Betelgeuse is almost twice as massive as the Sun makes it a strong contender. In general, stars that are several times larger than the Sun are considered likely to end in dramatic supernovas. Things get even more interesting when you look at the various tools astronomers have used to study Betelgeuse. These include not just the James Webb Space Telescope, but also the Laser Interferometer Gravitational Wave Observatory, which helps detect deep space phenomena. Even with all this data, the star remains full of unanswered questions. Betelgeuse, which formed billions of years ago on August 31st according to some studies, has been giving off odd signals for a long time. So what have scientists actually discovered? One of the more fascinating findings is that the star has been releasing strange light patterns, making the mystery even deeper. And that's not the only odd thing happening. Since Betelgeuse is a variable star, its brightness shifts over time. Some scientists have compared its dimming episodes to the sun's sunspots, although the patterns are different. What's especially strange is that Betelgeuse now shifts between bright and dim much faster than it used to. This unusual behavior is another sign that something major might be coming. In February 2021, the star's brightness hit a new low, around 1.61 magnitude, which was shortly after the dramatic dimming event that started back in 2019. That incident had many experts thinking Betelgeuse might be heading into its final phase. When the star suddenly became much brighter afterward, 150% brighter than its typical shine, it left researchers even more puzzled. As pointed out by physicist Andrea Dupree from the Harvard-Smithsonian Center for Astrophysics, this sudden glow made Betelgeuse the seventh brightest star in the night sky. A mysterious red light began glowing from the southern sky, adding yet another layer to the puzzle. This sudden change sparked many theories about what could have caused the massive dimming. It's worth noting that not all stars shine red the way Betelgeuse does. That red hue marks its identity as a red supergiant, a phase that represents the final chapter in a star's life before it collapses or explodes. This reddish glow comes from its cooler outer temperature, about 3,500 Kelvin, compared to the sun's hotter surface temperature of roughly 5,500 Kelvin. Because of this, Betelgeuse releases less energy per square unit of surface area, even though it's far larger and on the brink of a dramatic ending. We also have to consider the massive dimming that had everyone alarmed. Brian Cox and others have asked whether this really means Betelgeuse is about to explode. The fact that it's already in its red supergiant stage suggests that its time is running out. Stars in this phase often dim before they go supernova, and this dimming can be tracked and studied. The star's recent odd behavior has made scientists keep an even closer watch on it. Right now, many observatories are pointed directly at Betelgeuse, gathering as much data as possible. What they're finding is both exciting and mysterious, especially since no one completely understands how this star works. Advanced tools are being used daily to study Betelgeuse in more detail. Since it launched in 2021, the James Webb Space Telescope has been incredibly helpful, giving astronomers important new insights. Its images of the Great Dimming Event revealed that Betelgeuse had a massive outburst, releasing about 400 billion times more material than a standard solar flare from our Sun. This telescope is also capable of seeing light and energy that human eyes can't detect, making it one of our most powerful tools. Scientists even noticed the formation of dust clouds on the star's surface that looked like leaves floating in space, an odd but fascinating discovery. Even though Betelgeuse is clearly nearing the end of its life, no one knows exactly when the big explosion will happen. It's believed to be much more massive than the Sun, and many expect it to keep shining for at least another 10 years. But because of how unpredictable its behavior has been lately, that estimate might not hold. For now, researchers don't expect an explosion right away. But when it does happen, it will be the first supernova we've seen with modern equipment since Johannes Kepler spotted one in 1604. Although experts don't think the event is right around the corner, they're still actively trying to make sense of the star's strange actions. When Betelgeuse eventually explodes, it will be a rare and mind-blowing spectacle. The supernova will send out an immense amount of light and energy, briefly becoming brighter than the entire Milky Way galaxy and easily visible from Earth, possibly even as bright as the full moon. Luckily, this incredible explosion won't be dangerous for us, because Betelgeuse is over 600 light-years away. But it will give scientists a golden opportunity to explore what happens in the final stages of a massive star's life. The eventual death of Betelgeuse isn't just a topic for astronomers. It's a striking example of how unpredictable and amazing the universe can be. Stars like this one have an essential role in shaping the galaxy. When they explode, they scatter the building blocks needed to form new stars, planets, and maybe even life elsewhere. So when a star dies, it doesn't mark an end, but rather a new beginning, as its elements help form the next generation of the cosmos. In the meantime, researchers will keep monitoring Betelgeuse, putting the pieces together little by little. With every new clue, the mystery deepens, giving us a better understanding of space and our place in it. Maybe someday soon, we'll witness one of the most astonishing events the universe can offer: the transformation of Betelgeuse from a massive red supergiant into a blazing supernova. Until that day comes, we'll look up at the sky and see Betelgeuse still shining, reminding us how precious and unpredictable life in the cosmos truly is. And while Betelgeuse continues to flicker in our night sky like a glowing red beacon, it stands as a cosmic warning, a sign that even the most enormous and powerful things in the universe are temporary. The sheer possibility that we could witness such a grand event within our own lifetimes has captivated not only scientists, but also skywatchers and everyday people around the globe. It's not just about witnessing a celestial light show. It's about being front-row observers to one of the most profound natural processes in existence. The death of a massive star isn't just the end of that star. It's the rebirth of matter, the recycling of energy, and the beginning of something new elsewhere in the universe. Every atom heavier than hydrogen and helium in your body was once formed in a star like Betelgeuse. So when it eventually detonates, it's not merely an astronomical event. It's part of the same cycle that once helped create life on Earth. That's what makes this more than just a star story. It's also our story. Meanwhile, astronomers are preparing for the moment. Telescopes around the world, and even in orbit, are constantly monitoring the star, looking for subtle shifts in light, in temperature, and in composition. They're gathering every piece of data they can so that when the explosion finally occurs, humanity won't just be surprised observers. We'll be informed witnesses, ready to learn from one of the universe's most dramatic acts. And thanks to tools like the James Webb Space Telescope, we're now more prepared than ever before. It can detect changes in light that the human eye can't perceive and peer into distant galaxies, revealing the secrets of stars that have long since died. With this kind of power, the moment Betelgeuse begins to collapse, we will likely know almost instantly, and we'll be able to study it with precision that was never possible in any previous era. But Betelgeuse doesn't just intrigue scientists. It's captured the imagination of the public. It's been referenced in pop culture, literature, and mythology for centuries. Its glow in the shoulder of Orion has inspired myths, guided sailors, and puzzled astronomers for generations. And now, in a twist of fate, it may become the first supernova seen with such technological advancement that we could capture its explosion from every possible angle. We might witness the gamma-ray burst, the X-ray flash, the light curve, the shock wave, all recorded and studied in real time. This would transform our understanding of how stars live and die, and how those deaths seed the universe with new potential for life. Of course, questions remain. Could there be unforeseen dangers from such an explosion? While scientists assure us there's little risk because of Betelgeuse's distance, some theorists speculate about gravitational waves, or how a sudden burst of cosmic radiation might affect satellites and space travel. These ideas fuel countless discussions, online debates, and even movies. But the reality is that the danger is slim, and the knowledge we gain could far outweigh any minimal risks. In fact, Betelgeuse might turn into the most informative supernova ever recorded, an open book on stellar death just waiting to be read. And what happens after the explosion? That part is still a mystery. Betelgeuse may collapse into a dense neutron star, a city-sized ball of matter so compact that a teaspoon would weigh billions of tons. Or, if it's massive enough, it might even form a black hole, a region of space so dense that not even light can escape it. If it becomes a black hole, it would be one of the few nearby ones we could study in detail. This would open doors to understanding some of the strangest and most extreme forces in the universe. But we won't know until it happens. For now, the star keeps pulsing, dimming, glowing again, a cosmic heartbeat in the sky. It reminds us how fragile and magnificent our universe really is.